Am 31. Work in HR. Spent years thinking I could read people. Always believed men cause most trouble in marriages. Saw enough breakups at work to think I knew it all. My brother Daniel is nothing like me. He's 38, works as a mechanic. Quiet, steady, keeps to himself. Not much of a talker. Fixes your car without asking for payment. Married to Amanda for 10 years. They have an 8-year-old daughter, Sophie. Daniel picks her up from school every day. Helps with homework. Never misses her soccer games. Once at a family barbecue, I teased him. If you ever split, the court will give Sophie to Amanda. He smiled, said probably. I told him, see, even women have it harder. He nodded, kept flipping burgers. I thought that was the end of it. 2 years later, Amanda started skipping family dinners. Said she was busy with work. Her social media changed. More pictures with friends, nights out, new clothes. Less of Daniel, almost none of Sophie. Daniel never mentioned it. Still drove Sophie to practice. Still came by Mom's to fix things. I thought that's just how marriages go. One afternoon, I borrowed his tablet. Needed to check an email account. A search tab was still open. How to prepare for full custody as a mother. I asked him about it. He said it was nothing important. I believed him. At dinner a week later, she joked about his job. Called it safe little mechanic work. Said he could earn twice as much if he took chances. He kept eating. She laughed, said he's more of a mom than I am. Her friends laughed too. Mom looked uncomfortable. Dad stared at his plate. I laughed along, thinking it was harmless. Soon she started sleeping in the guest room. Said she needed space to think. Yet she kept posting smiling selfies at brunch. Weekend trips with friends. Daniel still made her coffee every morning. Still reminded her to pay bills on time. Then she told friends he was emotionally distant. Hinted he was verbally abusive. No proof, no reports, just her word. Daniel looked exhausted but never argued. I thought he was just tired from work. First court hearing, I went along out of curiosity. He's a man with a job, clean record, and no violence. The system will be fair, right? Her lawyer tore him apart. Later I found out she met that lawyer months before filing. Once she asked him to text his feelings instead of saying them. Said it helped her process. He agreed and kept every message. In court she printed them. Highlighted words like angry, frustrated, don't know what to do. Made him look unstable. Even a text saying I'm tired, I just want peace, was read like a threat. She had moved money from their joint account. Screenshotted random texts out of context. Kept notes to mention his so-called temper in court. We never saw him lose his temper. But once she said he shuts down when it matters. I thought she was venting. Now I think she was rehearsing. Before the next hearing, she posted about surviving emotional neglect. Days before court, they twisted a text from years ago into controlling behavior. Brought up one argument where he raised his voice. Said he refused couples therapy. The judge nodded along. Our lawyer barely spoke. Daniel sat frozen. I wondered why he didn't defend himself. But I stayed silent. Second hearing, the judge ruled. She got the house. She got primary custody. He got visitation when she allowed it. Had to pay child support, alimony, and her legal fees. Mom squeezed my hand. I told him, at least you still get to see Sophie. He didn't answer. He moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. Barely space for a bed and desk. Said it was temporary. One Saturday I stopped by. He was on the floor building a cardboard castle with Sophie. Markers and snacks everywhere. She called him king. He smiled and said, "No, sweetie, you are." I never saw him smile like that again. I asked how often he saw Sophie now. He shrugged, said depends how generous she's feeling. Last time he asked, she said Sophie had a busy weekend. Sometimes he didn't even know if she was sick until Mom told him from Facebook. He showed me a message. Hey, can I take Sophie Saturday? Her reply, I'll let you know, depends how she's feeling. He sighed, said court says she's primary, so she decides what's in her best interest. I asked, can't you fight it? He said, with what money? Then whispered, what's left to fight for when asking makes me look unstable. He started working weekends to keep up with payments. Missed family dinners. Texted less. Sometimes didn't answer my calls. Mom said she was worried. I told her he's just adjusting. Dad said he's not the same. I told him he's overreacting. Mom shrugged, said men just don't talk. One night he came over with dark circles under his eyes. Brought Sophie a toy. Amanda said, we don't do plastic. He nodded, said nothing. We all acted like it was normal. After dinner, Mom whispered to me, she's making it sound like we were all part of it. She looked around like someone might hear. Said, I never wanted to say this, but she corrects Sophie in front of him constantly. Said, I saw the way she looked at your brother like he was invisible. Dad joined and said, I should have spoken sooner. He stirred his coffee, but didn't drink. Said, we thought she was just stressed. Said, never imagined she'd paint him as the bad guy. Mom nodded, said, the worst part is I think she believes it now. A few days later, Daniel called. His voice was low and shaky. Asked, do you think I was a bad husband? I laughed, said, you just weren't expressive enough probably. He paused, said, maybe you're right. That was the last time we spoke. 2 nights before he disappeared, he texted me at 4 a.m. I'm sorry, I'm not enough. I deleted it without replying. Thought men handle their feelings alone. Once I heard him crying in his room. Soft, like he didn't want anyone to hear. I almost knocked. But told myself guys don't cry unless they want attention. So I walked away. Weeks passed. He missed Sophie's birthday dinner. Mom said he was probably working late. The next day his job called. Said he hadn't shown up in 3 days. Mom sent me to check on him. I knocked, no answer. The super unlocked the door. The apartment was silent. Bed made. Pill bottles on the counter. A folded note on the table. Windows slightly open. He was gone. EMTs came. Confirmed suicide. Mom cried until she couldn't breathe. Dad stepped outside and didn't return for hours. I sat in the kitchen staring at his coffee mug. World's Best Dad printed on it. 3 weeks later, Amanda posted a photo at a rooftop bar. Caption, Survivor season unlocked. Comments full of you go girl and heart emojis. Someone asked about Sophie. She replied she's doing better now without the chaos. Her profile picture changed, but she kept his last name. I went through his things. Found his old phone. Passcode was still Sophie 2015. Opened the Notes app. Hundreds of short entries. Each one dated with the words try again. March 4th, tried to smile. At work nobody noticed. March 17th, bought a dress for Sophie. She never got it. April 2nd, saw a video of dads reunited, cried until I fell asleep. April 20th, thought about leaving but couldn't abandon her too. May 6th, last note, if something happens tell her I love her, I tried so hard I just wasn't enough. His journal was on the desk. It said, I'm tired of pretending I'm fine. I'm tired of feeling like a visitor in my daughter's life. I don't feel like a man anymore, I feel like a paycheck and a problem. Nobody sees me, they only see what they can take. At the funeral, his friend Mike said, he was the most loyal man I knew. Another friend said divorce is death by 1,000 paper cuts. Months later, I tucked Sophie in. She showed me a drawing of her and Daniel. Asked, can we mail it to him? I said we can try. She frowned, said Mom says he's on a long trip. Asked why didn't he say goodbye? I told her he wanted to, he just didn't know how.